Hello YouTubia, this is Kurt. Welcome to Southdown Garage. Today is my anniversary, so I am winning Husband of the Year award for, well, coming out here to work on my car on my anniversary. Welcome to season 2. If you guys like carnage, you'll probably see some.
Hater V8, bro.
Okay, so today we are working on getting the interior out of this car. Big part of getting this car ready for drifting is we need everything in here. So, well, I'm not keeping the dash, but I'm probably going to try to keep as much stuff as possible because the Mazda has so much bad wiring in it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to take the dash out. I'm going to keep it. The big thing I'm going to reuse is the instrument cluster because it's already pre-programmed for a V8. So the tachometer will work. I don't have to pay money and get somebody to calibrate my Mazda one. I don't have to splice wires. I don't have to do anything except pull the dash out. So today I did take a look on YouTube to see if I could find some instructional videos. So I didn't really find any other than do this, do that, do this, do that. So look, I took a center console out, look, I took the dash out, it was tough, I hated it, blah, blah, blah. That's what I found on YouTube. So, we're going at this blind. This will be fun. This will take a lot more time than it should because I don't know where to start. I'm sure there's some access panel somewhere, but anyways, let's start pulling stuff out. We're going to start with the steering wheel because I don't know if I'm going to need that. But this car is going to the scrapyard, so what the heck? Pull everything out, and whatever I don't use, I'll scrap. Part stealer. Okay, so I'm going to start taking a look and see what we got to do to get the steering column out. I've done a steering column on a Windstar before, so I'm sure it's probably the same thing. Steering wheel's out. So in order for me to get this thing out, there's these there's 4 bolts here. They're 13 mil, I think, nuts. So just undid all 4 of these. There's a couple of Torx pieces here. There's a whole like module sitting on top of here to take off. And right here, I think if it's automatic, I'm not sure. There's a cable or whatever set up here. Anyways, it might be cruise control. So might have been a cruise control module sitting here. Had to take that off. And then other than that, it's pretty easy to slide out. And so we got the steering wheel out. We might have to reuse this for the other car, so just gonna hold on to that. Always make sure when you're taking out your steering wheel that you always make sure that you have the battery disconnected, because if that airbag connector felt static, it would have blown. It very well could have still blown with me unplugging it. So you gotta be careful. I've heard stories about people doing some pretty ugly things with airbags. So yeah. Make sure you go on the side of caution first. So now, with that out, I'm gonna make sure my doggy isn't getting into it. So this is the module I was talking about on the underside that has the 2 Torx bolts in it. This is that cable assembly that I also had to unbolt there. A whole bunch of wiring to undo. So now that all that's undone, we can start. Oh, and I undid this floor plate in the back here. There's 4 screws that held the accelerator pedal on. I wasn't sure if I had to undo it or what, but I did anyways. Well, look at the size of that hole in there, eh? So I don't know if I need that, I don't know, whatever. We're just gonna start tearing stuff out of this thing, and boy, I hope that RX-7 has enough room. Okay, so we've pretty much disassembled the center console, which is basically you've got 2 bolts in underneath the little flip-up tray in the center console there, 2 screws, and then you take out the center piece where your ashtray is or whatever, and there's another 1 bolt there, and then take the trim off around the shifter. You have to fight, you have to be a little violent with it, and then you pop it out, and then there's another 2 screws at the front. Yanked it all out, so no more center console. Then for this whole bezel piece, there's 2 screws up in here. You pop this part out, and then the whole piece comes out. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. Something's telling me I probably shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back together, and then I'm going to undo the bolts rather than screws. Now we've got the right screws out, this will come out. And it's a matter of finding what connectors do what. Oh, come on, you can do it, baby. Don't be so mean. There we go. So these 2 connectors in here, and then that's all out. I'm going to reuse this, obviously. I think I've said that probably 50 times already. But now we've got to find out how the rest of this comes out. And it looks like, well, I've got to pull all these pieces out, obviously, but for this, to get at the top bolts and stuff like that, I think I'm going to have to take this cover out in the middle of there. I gotta also take this off, and some engineer put a bolt right in behind here, so if you haven't figured by now, I like engineers. So I got everything unbolted that I feel needs to be unbolted. So I'll go over it afterwards, the unbolting of the dash. It's not as bad as it looks. It's really like, so all the bolts along the top there, there's going to be 2 on each side of the doors, right down here. If you have a reverse Torx, this would be very helpful, because see, this is the bolt. I don't want to get too much light on it, but this is the bolt that came out of the inside of the door here, right here. So I have a reverse Torx, so I was able to do that. Then there's a bolt hiding way in the back here. There's a bolt in behind this stereo unit, and then a bolt on the other side. I think that's it. So I overdid it, and I undid a ton of screws, and you don't need to. It's just that one, this one, all of the screws going horizontally into the dash. I took the other ones out, so all of my HVAC is going to stay in the car, because I don't really care to pull it out with it. So there are a couple more screws there, but yeah, you can. I pulled the airbag out, which I didn't need to do. And I pulled out a bunch of stuff, but now, I mean, you know, dash is ready to come out. So the last time you guys saw this car, I had just started pulling the dash out. That's probably the most painful dash I've ever taken out in my entire life. And I truly mean that that was the most painful. I've probably beat the living snot out of that thing. It's destroyed. But anyways, so this is the inside of the car. There's some wiring left over. It's going to the back of the car. I still need to get some wiring out of the transmission tunnel area. Unfortunately, I also damaged that wiring because I was in a fit of frustration. So I gotta go to the junkyard and get some new connectors from another car, and we'll go from there. So yeah, we're gonna get ready and scrap this car now. I picked up the other vehicle. It's actually kind of a funny story now, but I'll get to that in the next video. But yeah, this car is ready for the scrapyard. We're gonna hopefully take it sometime this week, but I just need it in my shop because I promised my wife I would have it out of here, and well, I want to keep my promises because, you know, she's letting me do all this fun stuff. So yeah. So anyways, that's what we're doing. We're gonna get this car ready for the scrapyard, and we'll go from there.